and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 174. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside Mr. Hype, Mr. Gameplay, Play, Mr. Still Your Girl. That's Trey Songs, but don't worry about it. Snowbite Mike, how you doing? Oh my god, he's waving to the Queen again. The video
Still
version.
waving to the Queen. Just hoping one day she'll see me and wave back, right back. That's all. I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day. We're expecting another 3 to 6 feet of snow starting last night into Thursday. So snowpocalypse is not quite done. February is still the hashtag we're using out here. And everything else is going well. Fix getting a lot of gaming time in. Yesterday I had off work due to high winds.
Nice.
I expect I will not work until Saturday now, which will be super sweet for me and my gaming expertise.
Gameplay, play, as you would say. Good. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're staying safe. That's the most important thing. Dude, I don't know how you do it. Like, snow, winds. Can you not just move to California? Ain't it always sunny there? Is that not the plan? Like, no way. I'm not feeling that one bit, bro. Not feeling that one bit. Guys, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast. Remember, you can get it early on patreon.com/mcfixer. Go subscribe to the YouTube channels, youtube.com/mcfixer. That is my channel. And youtube.com/snowbikemike. The thing is, we always promote the YouTubes, but I want to start promoting the Twitches. So twitch.tv/mcfixer and twitch.tv/snowbikemike as well. We both do a lot of Twitch content, so it's all well and good promoting the YouTubes. But if you are someone that likes to watch live content that does have Amazon Prime, make sure you support myself or Snowbike Mike, please. We could really do with it. Lurkers, we need you. I promise. We need you. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Spotify. And the show goes live on all of those platforms and the video version on YouTube every Friday. Mike, before we start, I wanna give a quick shout out. Twitter. Something happened on Twitter this week, or today actually, I should say. And previous co-host, co-founder of the My Xbox and Me podcast, has officially retired from podcasting. Ross Miller has stepped down from the Reddit podcast that he used to do with Uncle Jesse, which this week, as he said, is his last week. And he's also retired from Duck Games, which was something else he was doing. It sort of comes as a shock to me because I really thought Ross would keep going, but he said that he wants to get out before he becomes a jaded old man. Pretty much, I think he's struggling with the grind and struggling with how long everything takes, and doesn't want to lose that love for video games. But I want to thank Ross from the bottom of my heart. Without Ross Miller, there would be no My Xbox and Me. We wouldn't be here at 174 episodes. There wouldn't be Snowbike Mike and MC Fixer doing this each week. Without Ross, maybe MC Fixer wouldn't even be where he is today, because without that basis of doing this show on a weekly base, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I just want to thank Ross for everything that he's done, and congratulations on the success you have had. And I hope you come out of retirement. I do. I hope that this is just a case of take a year off and then come back fighting, but we'll see. We shall see. Did you ever listen to the show when Ross was on it, Mike, or was that after your era?
No, that was after my era.
Yeah.
Awesome to see him hanging it up after such a well-stored career that you've told me about. And, always hard to see your friends, the legends, we'll call it, from the OG days,
definitely
hanging up and kind of take a back seat. But you know what? You can always wish him well, give him a call. Maybe he'll come in and surprise guest one day.
Oh, that would be dope. You two together would be hilarious. He's Scottish. You can't understand the word he says half the time. So you're hype and he's Scottish. Oh, God. Maybe we'll get him off for the E3 special. We'll see. But yeah, it's so weird to think like, all right, obviously you started listening to the show after Ross. So Ross was like the early period, and then Kevin, and it's just strange. Just super strange. But let's get into topic of the show this week, Mike. Oh boy, we got some big Xbox news coming up for you guys, which is Microsoft is reportedly set to unveil the new Xbox hardware during E3 2019. New reports suggest that Microsoft will unveil 2 new Xbox hardware platforms during E3 2019, and that Halo Infinite will launch alongside them. Reported by French site, we're not even going to try, translated via Google Translate, the Project Scarlet family of next-gen Xbox hardware will allegedly be revealed at E3 2019 and are scheduled to launch by the end of 2020. The site claims that rumours that Scarlet consists of two platforms, a weaker Lockhart console and a more powerful ANACONDA console, which is what we've spoken about previously, are also true, with these allegedly announced alongside the rumour about Nintendo and Microsoft, which we'll talk about later in the show. In addition to this, Halo Infinite, announced at 2018's E3, will reportedly launch alongside these new consoles and will be available on the Xbox One. Lastly, Ninja Theory, one of Microsoft's newly acquired studios, will allegedly release a new game early 2020, which would likely to be Xbox One's, would likely to be on the Xbox One rather than the Xbox Scarlet consoles. Before we move too far on, let's break it down there, Mike, and then we'll come back to the rest of this story. How you feeling so far, big dog? Two new consoles, one less beefy, one super beefy. Where we at?
I'm super excited, especially attending E3 this year. Man, I got to get in that Microsoft presser out there. That's going to be such a fun event that evening, talking about Xbox, seeing where the future of Xbox is going to be. And this is something that you and I have been preaching for a long time. I told you with Sony backing out, I think Microsoft really needs to own the stage, control the narrative, and what better than coming out, showing the hardwares, talking about some of the specs, taking that E3 where it's all about specs, it's all about discussing the hardware. And then next year when Sony returns and they want to talk about PS5, well, guess what? We're already showing games for the next generation of Xbox. It's coming out this fall. There's no need to delay. There's no need to talk about it anymore. So I think getting this early year anticipation in and out and having that conversation is going to be great. We know that these two versions of the Xbox is now the new model for Xbox. We'll see if Sony takes this as well. You know, what is Anaconda? What is Lockhart? Will it be a streaming only box? Will it be no disc drive in it so you can only download or stream games?
Yep.
That's going to be very exciting. How far can you push this? The Xbox One X is already the most powerful console on the planet. How much further in power can you take this with us, you know, I don't know what you would really call it, but the casual audience, how do they truly see that jump in generation when we're really getting there already with the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One X? These games already look incredible. How do we make that next jump when that kind of next generation of graphics and hardware isn't truly there quite yet? So very exciting stuff. I'm super excited about just the hardware level of it, and I think this summer it's going to be great for Microsoft and Xbox fans all around.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The one thing I'd say is Halo Infinite. Again, I'm not the biggest Halo guy, as most of you know, but the fact that that could be a launch title for these consoles is going to be huge. We know that Halo lately hasn't been the... I'd say all Xbox exclusive, so the big ones, the Halos, the Gears of Wars, except for Forza, because that sells like crazy still. Those big titles, which used to move consoles, haven't been. We know that with the Xbox One, it's in second place for good reason. Marketing was poor at the start. With them coming out with Halo Infinite as their big tentpole title, and if they show that off with gameplay alongside these two new consoles at E3, they are going to control the messaging so well, with no competition, really. The other thing, obviously, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but I want to allude to it here, which is obviously the partnerships that are rumoured to be going around with Nintendo. Instead of it being a competition between Nintendo and Xbox at E3, it could really be the joining of the hands for them. So it won't be like, oh, Xbox is competing against Nintendo and Bethesda, and do you know what I mean? For the conference, it's more like, no, we're collaborating with everybody, and you're going to see our logos at everything. Imagine that. Like, at E3 2019, you will see the Xbox logo on every single show, and Sony can't say the same. That'd be, I think that's huge. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, exactly. Very exciting stuff. I mean, this partnership or this, you know, whatever this is going to be with Nintendo that we're going to see at GDC, you know, this is all rumors, this is all speculation, but it is clear as day something's about to happen here with a partnership, whether it be Xbox Game Pass, playable on Nintendo consoles. We're not quite sure. But like you said, Fix, this is going to be big after such a great narrative of play anywhere with Xbox when you can play all of your Xbox One titles on your computer, right? Microsoft and Microsoft, you can buy those games. You can play them on either console, which is really awesome, making a larger ecosystem. And now to have this partnership with Nintendo, or so to speak, maybe this partnership, it's going to be really exciting to see what that truly looks like. Is Game Pass really going to be available on Nintendo Switch? Can my Nintendo Switch really run some of these games, or will it be maybe a toned down library? That's going to be awesome because they're bridging the gap for gamers. They're getting everywhere. I think somebody put it well, maybe it's Tim Geddes or somebody, but they were talking about Netflix and how Netflix isn't just available on one thing, right? It's not just available only on your iPhone. It's available on everything possible. And that's a smart move for there and Microsoft. And we've seen this with the different services they provide, being in that second place, being the one that's always talked to about being behind in the console generation. Now look at them creating all these different services, finding new ways to get in every single gamer's eyes and heads. This is going to be a fun one, very exciting because I own a Switch. I love my Xbox games. What will this look like? And I will tell you this. I was playing an Xbox One title with backwards compatibility last night, and man, did it run so smooth. It was perfect on the Xbox One, and I could definitely see some of these older titles from Xbox One OG to the Xbox 360 and beyond on my Switch being able to be playable. And beyond is right. And my final note is with Halo, this is huge, right, Fix? So when we really look at big picture, everybody always talks about console launch and the games that come with the launch exclusive titles, right? And sometimes they're hot, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're weak. And with Halo being so, held back, right? We were expecting Halo 2 years ago, a year ago. We were already expecting to play this Halo title. And for them to really be holding them at the gate saying, hey, why don't you come out big, come out swinging for us? This could be a fun one, and it's going to be clearly backwards compatible, or so to speak, back with your Xbox One titles. That's going to be exciting too, because now all gamers don't miss out. There's probably going to be a shared universe where no matter what, if I'm on my Xbox Anaconda and Fix is still on his Xbox One X, we're going to be able to play. We know that's what Microsoft is thinking.
Don't you dare wish that on me, God damn it.
But I will say this year is going to be exciting, Fix, because you got to think E3, we're going to show new consoles. We're going to tease Halo, of course, but Gears of War 5 will come out this year. Then after that, we're going into E3 where we're going to show the full-on Halo marketing blitz, and then Halo's going to come out with the launch. So you're going to have a full year of big-time Microsoft exclusives coming out right here, right now, and that's what everybody's wanted, the big titles coming out from this Xbox exclusivity library that we're finally going to get. Sony's had such a great run. Microsoft has had its time. Now it's their turn to step up and show you what they got.
100%. To go into some more rumors, we've got that Halo Infinite is allegedly going to be more of an RPG. It's going to have more eligible. Sorry. Let me try that again, shall I? It's going to have more RPG elements than the prior Halo games. Chris brought this up on From the Gamers, which is the other podcast I do that you guys should go check out. What would you think of like a Halo? I don't think this is what this is by any. This is just me putting this out there as a suggestion to see what you think. But what would you think of a Halo like Destiny? Games as service, hub worlds, gear. Would that interest you? That would be something that would get me into the Halo world. Would it do anything for you?
Oh, of course. As a big Halo fan, any sort of Halo content that you're going to provide for me and this huge fan base that loves Halo, they're going to get excited about it. We've talked about it with Halo Wars 2 and how they turned that game and that franchise into a real-time strategy game. People loved that. You look at Gears of War and Gears of War Tactics coming out, Funko Pop Gears of War. Microsoft is doing a good job at taking their exclusives and saying, well, can we branch them out and get them even wider? So instead of Mike and Fix waiting 4+ years for the next Halo title, well, let's get something new in here. And Halo Infinite has been teased. We haven't even seen a full trailer for it. We don't really know what this is. And there was rumor it would be a BR. There was rumor that it could just be a bunch of maps and you just play any sort of game possible. We don't know what Infinite means. There was even a rumor at one point there was going to be no campaign. So we really don't know what this Halo Infinite is going to be. I'm very excited. And if you add RPG elements, if you made it like Destiny, woo, what a great selling point to have maybe that games of service MMO type feel of a Halo where Fix's Spartan is classed up in medical gear. I'm over here with thrusters and boosters and a gravity hammer. This could all be some cool stuff. So the RPG elements to me get me very excited. But there is one thing always synonymously known with Halo, and just like Call of Duty, is they have a great arena-based multiplayer that has to be perfect, right? So they can continue keep this game on for years to come, have those pro circuits constantly pushing the product, have pro players out there always streaming your games. So I think there has to be a tight arena-based type shooter multiplayer mechanic in here, no matter how we cut this video game.
Yeah, no, you've hit the nail on the head, and I'm glad that you're here to talk about Halo, because you have a wealth of knowledge that I just don't have, which is thankful, because I just don't care. Thorek also claims that Microsoft won't be discussing pricing at E3 2019, with the company looking to lock that down. I think that's a huge one, because anything that can be taken negatively, take it out of the show. Do that on a blog post on Inside X, not even on Inside, just put that up on Xbox Wire one day. Oh yeah, and the price is this. Because they're going to, whatever it is, they're going to scare people away. We know that. I think the pricing should be, obviously, I think it should be, what was the Xbox One when it launched? 400?
$499, I think. It was something expensive. Very expensive.
It was too expensive, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because the PlayStation 3 was, when it came out, was $599, right? And everyone sort of lost. They would say and go get a second job and stuff. All right. So I think it's going to look a little something like this. I'm going to do it in pounds, and you guys can figure out the conversion. I think it's going to be £450 for the Anaconda, £400 for the Lockhart. So that's probably about I think that's about $500 for the Anaconda, $450 for the Lockhart.
I was digging you for a minute there. I'm thinking $450, which with tax will be $500 for the Anaconda. I bet you the lighter model $350 turns out to $400 with tax for the lighter Lockhart model. Yeah, I like that, but I don't think that $50 price point isn't large enough to make you jump, because at $50 you would say I'm going to go for the bigger one, and maybe that's the tactic. Is it's so close that you would do that? I mean, for the casual gamers even as well. So it's got to be a bigger price point. It's got to be at least $100 for you as like a father of 2 or mother of 5. You would be saying, man, I'm saving $100. I have to get this cheaper version. $50 is too close for me.
So let me quickly go into the rumor specs of what these consoles are real quick. Again, this is all rumor and speculation. I know nothing inside, nor does Mike. This has all been reported on by Thorek, which you can go check out their website to get all this information. The Xbox Lockhart is going to have a custom CPU, 8 cores, it's 16 thread Zen 2. It's going to have a custom NAVI 4 plus teraflops GPU. It's going to have 12 gigabytes of RAM GDDR6. And it's going to have a stock age of a SSD 1 TVMe 1 gigabyte. Okay, cool. I don't really know what any of this stuff means, but I'm going to read it anyway. Xbox Anaconda, on the other hand, is going to have a custom 8-core CPU, 16-thread Zen 2 with a custom GPU, NAVI 12 plus teraflops with a 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 with a stock age of SSD 1 gigabyte. I don't know what it means. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not into tech like that. Does it work? Yes. Thank you. Lego. That's why I buy consoles. But for you nerds out there that can tell me what it means, my Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com. Email in, please, so me and Mike can understand. Mike, you don't know any of this stuff, right?
Oh, no. I was just going to yell, give me those terafloppies, baby. Show me the teraflops. Show me the teraflops.
Yeah, I don't... I can't tell you if there's a decent price difference there or anything. I just don't know.
No, very exciting stuff. I think truly the narrative that everybody's looking for is this possible streaming only, no disk drive type video game box that we're going to see here in the coming future. We always discuss internets and stuff, but truly having that cheaper model that has no disk drive, and you say you can download games or you can have streaming services with our cloud-based service. This is how the cheaper model is going to go. I think is really going to wow people, especially you're looking at somebody right here on the podcast who only digitally downloads games. I do not buy anything on disc anymore.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I bought a game on disc. It's been so long in the past, but I'm excited for a console like that. The unfortunate part is I'm a bleed green Xbox fan,
Yeah.
so no matter what, I'm going to buy the highest model because that's what I want. But in the future, when I get that second console for my household, guess what it's going to be? It's going to be that streaming only, no, disk drive box that I want at a cheaper markup or cheaper price point.
No, 100%. You've hit the nail on the head there, my friend. You really, really have. Yeah, I'd love to hear people's thoughts, concerns, questions on the matter of the new Xbox. Should they unveil it at E3 2019? Do you care? Are you buying it? Are you still happy with your Xbox One X? We were doing the math yesterday on From the Gamers, and we were saying the Xbox One X then would be around 4 years old. Which I think it's a conversation we've had, Mike, where we're like, we are not finished with our X's. No. I think at 4 years, that's a pretty good time to be like, okay, time to upgrade. I feel like that's pretty fair as well. I'm very lucky that I didn't buy mine, but and the community did, but I feel like that's a fair amount of time, right? That you would have got played out of it.
Oh, it is a fair amount of time, truly. And when you say 4 years, most people will gawk at you and say, well, that's not that long. But truly, when we just spoke about it, it's like there's going to be games that are still cross-platform play here, right? From this generation to generation. So you will probably get another year, maybe 2 years out of this, right? So we're not looking at just a base level of 4. We're looking more at 5 to 6, maybe even more here. So no matter what, if you have that X, you still will be sitting pretty if you don't want to jump to the next console and spend X amount of dollars. You still have till 2020, I bet, in the fall, too.
Yeah.
We have some time here still ahead of us.
Yeah, no, exactly. Moving on, let's get into what's been in our box this week. What have you been playing, Mike? A little game called Anthem dropped, and we've both been playing that. But what have you been playing other than Anthem? We can save that for last if you like.
Other than Anthem, I am now into the springtime of Metro Exodus. Still enjoying that. That world is beautiful. It's fun. It's gritty. Man, it is so, I don't know what the word is. It's punishing because the resources is so tight to the point where when Fix talked about when he went to go see it at that live event, it is those semi-open worlds like the Rise of the Tomb Raider type gameplay where it really encourages you to go to all the different points in the map, get as much crafting items as you can. So when you go to the actual mission itself, you have the med packs, you have the bullets that you need because, man, I was in the final part of winter and there were so many enemies, from mutants to this giant fish that was attacking me to all these scavenger guys. And it's like, I needed so many bullets, so many med packs, and it just got to the point where I had to take it down to easy at the end there because I just didn't have it, and it hurt. It truly hurt me, but I'm excited to get into spring, see how it changes up. We've seen such a drastic change from being in that Russian, nuclear winter to now I'm possibly going to go to the desert here with a whole lot of sunshine.
So you get to that part.
To change it up, you know what I mean? And I'm loving that. What else have I been playing? I told you, I jumped into our Xbox Gold games with gold, right? And these are some of the titles that you normally just hit download. You don't know if you're ever going to play them or not. And I was in the Star Wars mood. I thought, you know what? Why don't we try something out? And so I tried out your latest game, games with gold. That's Star Wars, the Jedi Night School or something like that. Old Xbox One title. Let me tell you, Fix,
Jedi,
it ran so smooth.
It's Jedi. Oh crap! I haven't got it on here. I still forgot the games with gold again. My bad. Jedi Knights of the no, it's not Old Republic. Sorry, carry on. I'll look it up. Go on.
Yeah, but it ran so smooth, and I'm always so impressed when you go to the backwards compatibility list and you play these 360 and Xbox OG titles. They run so smooth. They look fine. It looks exceptional, and man, it's so much fun to go relive some of your old school days, and I had a great time with that. That's pretty much all I've been playing. Of course, Anthem is the hot topic. Apex is the hot topic, but We've already talked plenty of those.
Yeah, it was Star Wars Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy was the game Mike was talking about. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play anything but Anthem. It came out on Friday, obviously. Me, Haley, Crash played, and we have played for, I've probably put, over the weekend, we put over 35 hours in.
Woo!
10-hour days we were doing. Literally 3 days of 10 hours. Again, I know I talk about my fiance a lot and I love her dearly. I can't say how happy I am with her and how much she's loving this game. Not to say it doesn't have problems, and we'll get to that. But watching her play and the way she talks about this game, and she actually knows what she's talking about, it makes me so proud, honestly. Like, Haley is such a casual gamer. Like, she'll play some games, and if it doesn't interest her, she's out. She's jumped out, she's done. Being Iron Man in this game, she loves it. She's playing it on hard with us. She's not bad at the game. Usually we just give Haley the medic and like, yo, you pick us up. That's your job. No. She holds her own. So on Sunday, we've done about 8 hours we've played, and then I switched over to Football Manager. And then she looked at me and she's like, do you mind if I keep playing? And I was like, no, please, by all means, carry on. So her, Crash, and Uncle Firestorm in my chat were playing together while I was playing Football Manager, and I was looking at her, and she got her first orange weapon, and she's just going crazy, and she's excited, and, oh, dude, it warms my heart how much fun she's having. But let's get to the game. Let's start critiquing and giving some feedback on the game. Anthem, for me, finished the story now. I'm pilot level 30, done. I'm gear level 410 so far. So, what do I think of the game? The game is fun. I like Anthem's gameplay more than I like anything else in this game. I think traversing around the world by flying is amazing. I think the shooting mechanics are fun and enjoyable. The abilities are well balanced and quite fun. Each javelin feels very, very, very different. But I think this game is extremely, extremely content light. Like, it's content light in world events, it's content light in its mission types, it's content light in its story. I don't think its story is what some people have come to expect from a BioWare story. I've never been a BioWare fanboy like that. Mass Effect has never done it for me, and nor did Dragon Age, just because I'm just not into those type of worlds. But I was kind of excited for Anthem. I didn't get my hopes up too much, but I was like, oh, this could be really good. From a world building experience, I think it's really good. Like, it has some great characters, and you go talk to them, and you start getting a feel for who they are, but then you sort of remember that they can't move, and they're just stood there. And you're going to go off, you're going to go live in this world, you're going to go do things, and you're going to come back and then talk to them, and they haven't moved, and they haven't progressed, and it's very much, pick this option, pick that option, and it doesn't matter. You can be mean to them all you want, and then be happy, and they'll smile at you. There's no repercussions for anything that you do in its dialogue options, in its story, which I think, and I said this last week, that if you're going to do that, just take the option away. Just give me a well-crafted story, then. Don't give me the option to have Owen be mad at me, or anybody, any of these characters. I could go on Faye, whoever it is. But yeah, I like its gameplay. I don't think it does a great job in the content sense. I'm obviously, that's very easy for me to say after putting 35 hours in it in 3 days or 4 days or whatever it is. And it's like, well, to be fair, you burnt through all the content fix. It's not that. I just don't think there's that much to do either. I don't know where you're at in the game, Mike. So where you at pilot level, gear-wise, and how many hours have you put in, if you know?
I'm still super early. I'm probably 6 hours in, maybe level 7 to 10 area.
Yep.
But it's, it's more interesting when I'm watching it from the sideline. We had this conversation about these games and services as it has to come out with quite a lot of content to keep those gamers involved, keep those people who are going to dive right into it like yourself, and so many more, keep them engaged. Look at Fix now, 35 plus hours in, he's already hit max level. Now he's kind of working on that gear level, we'll call it, similar to Destiny's
level,
light
that's
level.
what it is,
And it's like, look at Fix now. What is he going to do next week? Is he really going to want to keep pouring time in if it's still going to be the same mission structure, the same free play world events like we felt in Destiny, like we felt in Destiny 2, like we felt in The Division? These were things that we talked about. Is when you come out here with Destiny so well established, coming towards the end of its lifeline, you're going to be here in the middle. You have Division 2 right behind you a month later. You have any other MMO service-based type game still chomping at your heels. How do you separate yourself? And we knew the gameplay was great on Anthem. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
That feeling of being in the Javelin is unlike any other games as service game you can find right now. I defy you to tell me something similar.
Totally agree.
But at the same time, you get so worn out. You beat this in 2 to 3 days like Fix just did. And now what are you supposed to do? What's the next move here? And that's what we always talked about, is now the content roadmap has to come out, and it has to come out fast and furious.
So
you have to give something like Fix, who's max level, something to play ASAP, or he's going to move on to the next game that's going to give him that. And one last thing I want to touch on is the story is interesting. You know, Fix, we always talk about, people talk about stories in these type games like Destiny and beyond, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had a tough time of, I pay zero attention to the stories in these kind of games. People are chatting in your ear from your party. You're smashing B to skip the cutscenes and go back into the fun gameplay loop that it is. And the story's always been, you know, irrelevant to me. It could matter. I don't even remember what any of the Destiny stories were besides me shooting aliens in the head.
Yeah.
And so here we are with this game, like you've talked about, with the story being kind of light or the story just kind of being bland, especially for a BioWare who creates incredible stories that you know and love, from Mass Effect to Dragon Age.
Yep.
But my question would be, is like, does the story truly matter in a game like this? I would love to see a poll. I would love to see people email in to the My Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com to say, hey, like, I like the story. Hey, I could tell you it beat for beat what's happening throughout the plot, because I think most of the people are just similar to me, or maybe I'm wrong, of like, I'm doing this half the time the guy's talking because we're talking with everybody else and their mother, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree with you in a sense where, does the story matter? No. Is that acceptable? No. I think I've said this once and I'll say it again, which is, I do generally believe that out of The Division, Destiny, and Anthem has the best story and the best world building, in my opinion. Because it doesn't, you get more from it if you read all the things and all the Horcruxes, or whatever they're called. The Horcruxes, that's Harry Potter. You do get more out of the game, and there is plenty there for you to dive into. But for someone like me, doesn't like reading, dyslexic, I just need the story to be told to me. There's a story there, and there's a part in this story that I thought quite early on, that light spoiler, I guess. If you really don't want anything spoiled, it's not a spoiler really, Mike, so I wouldn't stress, but here you go. It's like, there's a part where this is how I'll say it. There's a part where they're recapping everything that you've done in your journey so far, right? And I literally said to Haley and Chris, went, why are they recapping this? We haven't done anything. And Chris was like, yeah, we have. It's showing this, it's showing that. And I'm like, okay, I can see how you've come to that, but I don't feel like we've done anything where you're bringing me back in time, sort of thing. And they're not doing that, but I'm saying, for instance, like, oh, you've just achieved this and you're worn out, and oh, freelancer, you're doing so great. And I was like, I don't feel like I've done anything. I don't feel like I've achieved anything in its story. Yeah, it's still cool to run around and shoot these things, but I don't feel like my character had progressed to this point where it needed to be paid off in any way, shape, or form. There's also a part in this game that I hate. Absolutely hate. Which some people think is not a big deal, but I do think it's quite a big deal, because it stops you in your tracks. So you're progressing fine, you're going through the story, you're doing what you love, and then what happens, Mike? They give you this trials thing where you have to do 5 world events. You have to do 25 chests. I'm using these numbers as instances. These are the cases, but I don't remember the numbers. You have to do 3 multi kills, 4 combo kills. The game's trying to teach you, but don't do it in a way in restricting me from content. Do it in a way where you make it fun, but they don't. It's not fun, it's restrictive, and it's very frustrating, if I'm honest with you. I could carry on talking about this, Mike, where the game has got bad load times on the Xbox One X. I've had my game crash multiple times. There's so much more to be said on this, and I'm sure we will keep talking about it, because I will keep playing it. Because I love the gameplay, dude. The fact that I went to a meeting yesterday for business and for work and stuff, and I was sat there going, oh, I want to play Anthem right now. Oh, I want to play Anthem. Oh, I want to get my gear level up. Oh, I want to be onto the Grandmaster 3 already. I'm at Grandmaster 1, and obviously plus 400 power level now, and I'm like, yeah, I want more. But why? Why do I want more? What is it I'm gearing up for? There's no raid. There's no raid at the end of this. So I'm not gearing up to do a raid, because there's no raid coming. There's a raid coming in months' time. What? So am I meant to just sit here and rub my hands together? We are going to get into Anthem's 90-day post-launch content, but I still think it's light. I do. I really, really do. But we'll get there. Anything else to add, Mike, before we move on to Patreon Producer?
No, it'll be interesting to see where we go with Anthem. We're going to talk about the roadmap, but up next now is the Division 2. So all eyes will turn to that and how they can maybe control that narrative and change your mindset of what you just said. They have a different kind of gameplay loop, but at the same time, they were content light when they first came out with the Division 1. So this is a big step for them, and who will really own your play space and all of your time and attention. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, the problem, just to go off that rule really, really, really quick, because we're getting long, I know, and waiting for your phone alarm to go off and be like, yo, we gotta go, boy. The Anthem's gameplay is so fun. And I'm sitting here going, please just give me more content. I don't want to go play Division 2. Like, I want to play it, yes, because it's my job and to have an opinion and whatever, but I want this game. I don't want Division 2. I don't want a cover-based third-person shooter with PvP right now. I want PvE, grinding through, and interesting world. And it is an interesting world, but just very content-light, and that's disappointing. Patreon producer this month is your boy, Mike Lynch. Speaking of, Mike sent me a tweet the other day, Mr. Lynch, saying 3 years, Division 2. I've known Mike now for 3 years. Mike has been supporting me on this journey now for 3 years. And that's the one thing I am happy for Division 2, is the fact that me and Mike are going to get to go back into a game where we met, where he started supporting me, and that's amazing. So thank you, Mike, for being the Patreon producer for my Xbox and me, as normal. I appreciate you. Without you, this show does not happen, my friend. So thank you. Let's get into the news. I was sort of Keemstar in it there, my bad. Rumor, Xbox Game Pass allegedly coming to Nintendo Switch. New reports suggest that Xbox Game Pass may be headed to the Nintendo Switch in the future via streaming. Via Game Informer, Direct Feed Games, and quote, outlet has a strong track record for rumors, especially centering around Nintendo, end quote, claims that Microsoft is preparing to publish ports of its games on the Nintendo Switch, alongside allowing Nintendo Switch owners to stream Xbox Game Pass titles via its Project X Cloud service. This wouldn't be the first time a Microsoft-owned developers have had their games on their rival Switch, as such games as Minecraft and the upcoming Hellblade is on the system, or will find their way to Nintendo systems very, very soon. The report by Direct Feed specifically mentions Ori and the Blind Forest as one of the titles potentially headed to Nintendo Switch, and if so, may indicate that its sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, may make its way to the Switch as well, as arriving on Xbox Game Pass later this year. Game Informer's sources have indicated that this announcement could come as soon as this year. Mike, this blows everything open, my friend, because this is the way I look at it, like I was saying, alluding to at the start of the show. Xbox are going to come out with new hardware, which is going to get people excited. They're going to show new games. I've got a feeling I've got a feeling in my stomach that we're going to get Playground's reboot of Fable as a launch title, and we're going to get Halo Infinite as a launch title, along with a Forza game. So 3 big games. Along with this or E3 we're going to get announced. Along with the announcement that Nintendo and Xbox are now partnering, and Xbox Game Pass is coming to the Nintendo Switch, which is humongous. This could be a huge E3 with this news, right?
The roadmap is taking us to the glory land here for E3 is right, Fix. This GDC is going to happen in early March to middle March, I believe. So right around the corner from us. And that is going to be the panel where they discuss kind of this partnership and what that's going to look like. And then you can imagine after this discussion, they're going to go and figure out how they can make the best marketing blitz, how they can make a wow factor presentation for E3. As you can imagine it, it's going to be the lights are going to be dimmed down. The Xbox screen is going to splash across the screen. And then a bright, vibrant Nintendo Switch Red is going to pop up and people are going to lose their minds, MC Fixer. And it's totally true. I think, when I just spoke about it earlier, it's like, it's hard to believe that X titles would really come to the Switch and be able to be streamed and or played that well on the Switch. But when you bring up Ori and the Blind Forest and you bring up other games similar to those titles, you're like, okay, you're right. The Switch can run those and could probably run Hellblade and a little bit further on. My concern is the internet of the Switch. That service with the latency isn't quite there with the Nintendo online service. You have to go out and buy an extra adapter for the online to really be smooth enough and feel good enough. So it'll be interesting to see how this streaming service works. Is it smooth enough to run these type of games? But we do have a long roadmap ahead. This isn't going to be tomorrow. This isn't going to be in early June. This is going to be an E3 announcement into maybe a holiday situation. So we have a lot of time for them to build up the infrastructure, make sure this partnership is perfect, because this is what the gamers want, and I'm truly excited for it.
Oh, the gamers definitely want it, dude. This is what I've dreamed of, because I've always wanted Xbox to make a handheld. Because especially, I was so jealous of the VR, and obviously Greg beating that drum. I used to be like, oh my god, I can burn achievements on the go type situation. Now I don't even care about achievements as much. It's just now I can just game on the go. I mean, poo and play Gears of War. Yes, please. Like, that got a bit graphic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But no, seriously, of like, be in bed, play Switch, watch TV and play Gears of War or any of these great games. If I could play Anthem streamed through and grind out my dailies while watching TV, and like just the Switch for me right now, my Switch doesn't get used that often. If it isn't a Nintendo exclusive game that I enjoy, it doesn't really get used. So if this gives me another reason to use it and it works, more power to it, and I can't wait personally.
Totally. Very exciting stuff, and we're going to see a lot more of this coming up with GDC into E3. You can get ready. This is really going to happen. These rumors are too hot to not probably happen here.
I hope so. I hope you're right. Next up, Anthem's physical sales, half of Mass Effect Andromeda's. Anthem topped the UK box game sales chart during the first week of releases, but with half of the physical sales of BioWare's previous game, Mass Effect Andromeda. Without digital sales, though, EA's Origin service on PC, or without digital sales on PlayStation or Xbox, it's difficult to draw a line and exact comparisons. The number I saw floating around was 45,000 units sold, boxed, in the UK, which is awful. But the sales charts go like this: Anthem at number 1, Far Cry 2 New Dawn at number 2, FIFA 19 at number 3, Rootin' Putin Cowboy Fruitin' 2 at number 4, Metro Exodus at number 5, Forza Horizon 4 at number 6, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe at number 7, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at number 8, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 at number 9, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at number 10. Mike, Resident Evil's not there.
Not even on there. What's happening there?
Not crack that, so suck it. What do you make of this? Anthem selling half of Andromeda boxed.
It's very interesting. There's a couple of points here that we have to look at and really think about. So the positive thing for Anthem and Anthem fans and BioWare, no matter what, is this is going to be a games as service game. This is going to last for a long time. So sales will dip, they'll increase, they'll go up and down, but they're going to continue to sell this game for quite some time when we know that the content roadmap will dictate more players coming in, people getting excited once they hear MC Fixer says, oh, there's so much content. 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, people are going to still buy this game. So that's the positive. On the flip side, what I would like to look at is like, how many people maybe took advantage of that EA All Access like I did, where they got 10 hours for free? Maybe they're still diving into the 10 hours. We're still early. Casual game players can't put in 35 hours like MC Fixer. So maybe they're still using their 10 hours. Maybe they said, hey, I abused my 10 hours. This game is still content light, like Fix said. It's not ready for me to fully purchase until I see the roadmap or until I see something else come out. So I'd love to see those numbers of like, how many people took advantage of that 10 hours? How many people are still in their 10 hours? How many sales led from that 10 hours? These are all great questions, and these are all interesting things. But I think the positive for Anthem, no matter what, is the gameplay is awesome and it's exciting. People are talking about it. They do like it. They believe in the world. They believe in what's going on here at BioWare. So the sales will increase, decrease. They're going to continue to sell no matter what later on. So I'm not truly worried, but hearing that Splash title, you're like, oh gosh, that's ugly and that's not good, because people hated Mass Effect Andromeda. People jumped away from that immediately. And that's definitely not what I want as a BioWare executive or an EA guy. Of like, I don't want that title being spread around, because now people are going to be like, well, if it's selling worse than Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm not buying that game. No, and that's not what you want.
Exactly. Shame. Overkill's The Walking Dead has not been cancelled for PS4 and Xbox One. We don't care about Xbox One, suck it PS4. Despite rumours suggesting the console version of the Overkill's The Walking Dead had been cancelled, one of the game's publishers has gone on record saying it's simply been postponed. Confirmed by publisher 505 Games on Twitter, the company states, quote, we just wanted to clear the position on the Overkill's The Walking Dead on consoles and confirm that the game has not been cancelled, purely postponed whilst development is ongoing. We will share further news as soon as possible. This game's in development hell on console, dude, and it didn't do that great on PC. Would you not have just cancelled it? Does anybody even care anymore?
I think we talked about a fix a couple weeks ago of like, this game did really bad on PC. They were just going to step away from it. But I think right now what you're seeing from this of it being postponed is maybe they think they can create something special with some updates or maybe realign with themselves. Or in my mind, it's thinking, I read that and I say they're trying to recoup the money that they just lost. They're going to try to get X amount of sales, no matter how small it is. They want that money because, man, did this team just take a huge hit, a huge dip, especially with a title everybody knows and loves, The Walking Dead. We spoke about it when we spoke about this story. But the issue is The Walking Dead TV show is declining and dipping after years of being so great. It's kind of on the back burner now. The Rick Grimes Netflix movies have not come out yet. Not that many casual audience members read the comics. So you're in this in-between of like, the Netflix shows aren't out yet to get that boost back up in the audience, and the TV show is dipping. So for you to create a game that isn't that great in the long run, and for you to try to catch that massive period of audience, you missed the boat there, or you're too early for it. So maybe they're hoping that they can try to find the back of the increase, but I think the Rick Grimes movies are quite some time away, and I think they're just trying to recoup money on this one.
Yep, sounds right, my dude, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Anthem's 90-day post-launch plans revealed. I can't really go through them all here because it's so long, but I'll touch the surface on it. We've got new free-play events coming in February. We've got new live service stuff in March, being new cosmetics, new rewards, new missions, new free-play, and more new free plays. They've got names on it if you want to go check out on BioWare's and Anthem's updates, you can. In April, you've got expanded progression mastery system, rewards to new items, and more missions, legendary missions coming soon. They're called Phase 2. And new Stronghold is also coming in April. You've also got May, you've got new rewards and new free play events and new missions to be announced. I've got to be honest, I looked at this and was super underwhelmed by what's been showed. I get it, new free play events, that's going to be amazing because you do grind a lot of free play stuff. Again, I think I saw Destin Legary tweet it, and it makes so much sense, and I hadn't thought about it because I'm only just getting to the end game, like real end game stuff, which is again, why am I doing this? There's no raid. There's no reason for me to be power level 500 plus. There's no reason for me to be 600 plus. Because, don't get me wrong, I can do Grandmaster 3, where the loot drops are better, but why? Why do I want to get there? If there's no big thing that's like, this is the reason why you want to do this, then why am I doing it? And this 90-day roadmap, don't get me wrong, it's 90 days, it's a couple of months, it's not bad. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's bad, because it's not. Like, weekly stronghold challenges, leaderboards, that's cool, but there's just not that much here. And I'm a bit worried, Mike.
I agree with you, Fix. I'm a little underwhelmed at that, but of course, a lot of this people will get excited about. On the flip side, I continue to push that narrative of like, what will the Division 2 look like? 3 months from now, what will Anthem be saying? Will they have a DLC that we need to go purchase?
No, that's free.
Will they
They
say,
already
hey,
said
we're
that.
going to add some more stuff? Yeah, I just mean like, what is going to be their storyline here? We know it could be free, but is there something larger that they might have in their back pocket? How are they going to get you excited for this 3 months later now?
Yeah.
Like you're saying right now, none of this gets you truly excited, gets you pumped up. So 3 months from now, they better have something really awe-inspiring or wowing, because now we're hitting the summer where game titles, E3 is going to be pushing things, and your game is going to continue to get buried behind a lot of news.
Yep.
And this is a big moment for them. They got to be ready for this.
Mm-hmm. You're not wrong. The only thing I'm sort of hoping is that new legendary mission, the Phase 1, Phase 2. Maybe that could be cool and hard, and you need a full squad. You got to figure things out, because again, that is in the game. It's just so light. It's so light. It's like, frustrating. Just super frustrating. Next up, Xbox is getting another game-changing feature. A new firmware update has rolled out for the Xbox Alpha skip-ahead rings this week that introduce yet another new feature to the Xbox Microsoft family. This time it's introducing the Adobe Atmos audio mixing for people using home theater systems. In other words, processing that can turn non-Adobe sounds from games and movies into Adobe Atmos. Or at least something close to it. I don't have a surround sound. I do really want one, but just for this house, what we've got right now, it just doesn't make sense, because I'm always working in the front room. Haley don't even get to use it. We bought this new TV, Mike. We got this nice 4K TV. You think the fiance's allowed to use it while I'm in here? Hell no. I'm working, woman. You can't be playing on that damn thing. That's mine. And I don't even use it. Like, I bought it. I'm like, I really can't wait to get another place where I've got 2 rooms, one that's in the goddamn office. But are you into surround sound? I know some people love it. And I know people swear by Adobe Atmos. Swear by it.
Oh, no doubt. You got the big-time brand name there. Of course, any gamer's dream is to have the big home theater, the surround sound that's shaking the sheets. But I think it's very interesting and telling how many people truly have that. Of course, you're always appealing to every audience member that you can, but I'm in such an ingrained world where I have the headset on due to streaming. I have my, just my basic TV speakers if I'm not streaming or if I don't want to put on the headset. But I've never jumped up to the home theater. Living and owning my own home, I could do that.
Yeah.
But it's never been something where it's like, that's extra wires. That's a whole day or two to set up and try to get it dialed in. I don't got that kind of time. I'm putting on my sweet HyperCloud X's. I'm putting on my Astros. I'm putting on my Turtle Beaches.
Yeah.
And we're rolling with it. But of course, any gamer's dream is that. And for Xbox to continue to push the envelope for all gamers, that's the right thing to do. And it only increases your console and the awesome stuff that you can do.
You're not wrong. It's nice to have these features, which is awesome. Next up, we've got emails. Remember, you can email them, myxboxandme, podcast@gmail.com. And it goes a little something like this. Fix and Snowbite Mike. With the Scruff Vintage being released for the PS4, the one with the sticks offset like the Xbox controller, does this mean that we all agree off-stick sets are the best? Do you think that Microsoft, when Microsoft releases the Xbox, they knew the offset sticks were superior, or do you think they only did it to look different? Matt, aka Little Smee. Thank you so much for the email, Matt. Appreciate you, bud. Keep them coming. Don't think you're ever bombarding us with them. My Xbox and Me podcast at gmail.com. Mike, you have this controller in your hands.
I have this controller. I bought this controller. It is an extreme premium markup here, folks. So I will tell you, this is a $200 controller.
Oh my goodness.
This is more money than the Xbox One Elite controller. So this is going to get you pretty set back. Now, Lil Smitty asked a great question. Did they do it because it is truly the best feel for gamers? Did they do it just to be different? And now, Lil Smitty, of course, me and Fix are not with the Microsoft team back in 2004 when they first created all of this stuff. You know what I mean? To be able to look you dead in the eye and be like, this is why they did the offset, and PlayStation 1 had, you know, the inline dialogue ones. I honestly don't know. I know for me, my preferred gaming is the offset sticks. That's why I bought this controller, because I can't play on PlayStation 4 and not feel uncomfortable with that controller. It doesn't feel right to me. And so the offset sticks do feel good to me. I believe that it is the more, you know, the better handling controller, but it's all personal preference. Even Fix will tell you that. It's always whatever you prefer. But if I'm willing to go out and pay $200 for this Scuff Vantage controller, you know that it is very important to me, and I swear by the offset sticks.
That's because you're crazy. Do I think Microsoft released it to look? I definitely think to look different was one of the key things. I don't think they knew what impact they were having on the industry when they did it. And I'm pretty sure Sony wishes they did it, because it is, in my opinion, it is way more comfortable to play with the offset sticks than it is to play with them side by side. It's more uncomfortable for me and my old man hands. But I don't know. I do think that Microsoft probably were like, well, we don't want our controller to look like theirs. That's like Nintendo's never do. But we don't want our controller to look like our competitors. So what are we going to do? We come out with the Dookie. The Dookie was a huge thing, which was like, Jesus crumbs. That's amazing. Did you ever buy the Xbox One Dookie?
Yes, I have the Xbox One Duke controller.
So bad.
I wish it was close enough for me to grab, but I was just going to say, like Fix says, like, you got to think Xbox, the OG, when it came out with the Duke controller, we had so many weird controllers, from the PS1 controller, the N64 controller with 3 different hand grips that you didn't even know which one to use. Then they came out with a GameCube controller with buttons you've never seen before in your life and a yellow stick that almost did nothing at all. And so it's one of those things that they might have been different. They might have known this was the best feel, but you got to think back in the day, this came out with a Duke controller that most people couldn't even get their hands on. It was so big.
Yeah, well, you got to think I'm pretty sure it's Japan. They come up with the S version. I think it was called the S.
Oh, I can't tell you how many
the smaller Duke. And that controller is one of the best.
I had many.
The Mad Catz one. Mad Catz used to be the one.
You know what I'm talking about. I had so many Mad Catz controllers. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. No. I do think I prefer it that way, and I do think it just came down to trying to look different, personally.
Yeah.
Next email. Thank you again, Matt. Famous Fix and Mike Hype wanted to see your thoughts on how MMO games with service are changing. With the Division 2 and Anthem, I won't technically say they're MMOs, with Division 2 and Anthem now releasing future content for free to try and keep players together, do you see cosmetic transactions becoming more acceptable and used? Would you still invest in the Gold Edition of games? Division 2 Gold Editions allows 1 week early access to future DLC. Does that interest you? For me, I'm not interested in getting in early and paying more, but I would be more interested in picking up new clothes / armor or online keys or boosts if I'm not paying for new content. Super excited for both of these games and look forward to hearing your thoughts. Paul, aka Tech 9. Paul Tech, thank you so much for the email. Appreciate you, bud. So, lot of questions here. Do we think it's become more acceptable microtransactions for cosmetics? Yes. I don't care what anybody says. I've got a lot of EA haters in my Twitch chat currently because I'm playing Anthem, and it's like, oh, I don't trust them. Pay to win. I don't do this. Pay to win. I don't do that. And I'm like, Anthem's not pay to win. There's nothing in Anthem that's going to be pay to win. They've already come out and said all the DLC is going to be free, and Division, the first year's content is free. So, cosmetics to me, yes, I don't have a problem with it. Do you know why? Because I have self-strength, and I know that even if I want this, I am not going to buy it because I don't want to pay for it. That's literally what it comes down to. And I know that I've paid £50 for this game, and I will then decide whether I want to put more money in. There's nothing wrong with wanting to put more money in. Like Mike. Mike is on the total opposite end of the spectrum for this, which is that he likes to buy things that look cool and he can afford to and whatever else. The thing I think people forget is games are still the cheapest they've ever been and not gone up in prices. That's super important. Like, super important. And what you've got to remember is, a year down the line, 6 months down the line, 4 months down the line, the people are picking up these games secondhand. They make no money on those games. So they need to make some sort of money from them. And if that is with an Iron Man suit skin or Thanos in Fortnite or whatever it is, or we're talking about these two games specifically, whatever it is, gun skins and vinyl skins and whatever, or Mass Effect skins, cool. You don't have to buy them. You don't have to be near them. You don't even have to look at them. Like, generally, you just need to keep playing the game you're enjoying. It doesn't bother me. I think it will become the new norm because it is. The one thing I will say, which is the scary part, is they are sort of adopting the free-to-play model on these games because they know it works. But as long as it means the DLC is going to be free, I'm all for it. Because I'm not someone... I didn't like the way Destiny did it in 1 or 2, where it's, here's the base game, which is empty, and then here's the season pass content, which is pretty crap, and then here's their expansion that's actually good. You better pay me another $40 for that. I did not like that model. So I'm very, very interested to see where we go from here. Mike, are you okay with microtransactions on cosmetics?
Yes, we've talked about it. You know me. I love the microtransaction model. I think it helps fuel the fire for these developers to continue to add revenue into their game to help bolster it however what you want, whether it be content, whether it be more jobs, whether it be progressing into the next game. So I'm all about it. And I really think Fortnite set the new gold standard for microtransactions. We've talked about it before. Being able to see what's on the storefront, having that storefront rotate at a pretty quick pace where you always feel like you can get something new and you never miss out on those items. That's the right way to do it. I think me and Fix have had long discussions about NBA 2K and FIFA with the loot boxes and the card packs and how 50-50 almost gambling it feels, and
not
those
50-50
waste of money is right. And so when you can see the cosmetic items like Apex Legends right now, like I touched on with Fortnite, that makes me say, man, I would buy that Iron Man skin because I get to see it. I get to help the developers and the creators go further, and I'm all about that, you know. I'm kind of at this point right now is everybody always talks about pay to win, but for me, I've never felt like I've ever played a game that's pay to win. Somebody would have to email in
FIFA.
And say, Mike, here's the game. I guess you're going to talk
NBA,
about sports
that's
games.
what's going to come up.
You're right.
I'm not just I don't agree with it.
No,
like,
you're right about that.
That's literally what someone's going to email in, which is NBA, FIFA. That is technically pay to win. You put more money in, you get better players, blah, 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 blah.
But I would be interested of like, can you find me a different game besides those sports games mentioned, which I agree, those are pay to win. I'd be hard-pressed for you to show me that you're not paying to win that game because I've played those personally. Fix plays FIFA. He knows it well, just like I do. But tell me a shooter. Tell me one of these games that's not a sports title like those that's truly pay to win, because I don't think I can ever bring one up whenever people bring these up in conversation, and I'm always kind of like,
Battlefront
I don't know
2,
about that.
it got changed very early, but that was almost pay to win, is what they're going to come out with, I would say. I can't think of it. Again, it gets into such muddy waters, right? Because you don't know. Everyone's got their own different opinions on things. Like, to me, even FIFA is like, yeah, okay, technically it's pay to win, but I could definitely beat people that have better teams than me. Yes, they have better players and they paid for that or whatever, but I sit there and grind it out. That's my decision. I just don't, to me, I just like, look, most of us that are doing this, or most of us should be that are doing this, are responsible adults with credit cards. I'm responsible with mine, and I don't waste, in my opinion, money in virtual currency on FIFA that in a year's time, I'm going to move on to the next game and nothing comes over. I'm not going to keep feeding this beast. It's not going to happen. And yeah, I'm with you, Mike. Apart from the ones that I've brought up, because I think that's what people will say, I don't know many other games that I've been like, oh, this is pay to win. Like, I feel so physically underleveled, underpowered, because I've not put money in. I can't think of any games.
Yeah.
I mean, probably an MMO that's free to play, I guess. But on the Xbox front, I can't think of many.
No. And then to continue with his question, which is great, how do I feel about gold editions? I'm having a tough time thinking the last time I bought a gold edition. So there's two ways of thought here. Like he puts in the 1 week early access, maybe eligibility for future DLCs. That comes up big with more of like an Assassin's Creed or a Tomb Raider game where I'm thinking down the road, am I going to keep playing this? And I find myself now lately of like, I play that game, I beat that game, and sometimes it's tough for me to want to come back for that DLC unless the game is truly awe-inspiring and really gets me going. So I tend to avoid the gold packages now because I know 6 months from now, it's going to be hard for me to come back to this game just because in the world that we live in where me and Fix kind of have to stay up to date with the most recent games and talk about those. Yep. It's hard for me to want to shift back and do that. So I tend to avoid the gold editions now. And actually, you brought up a good point with Destiny, and that's what I was kind of hitting at the beginning with the Anthem roadmap is I have a sour taste in my mouth from Destiny and Destiny 2 where it was, hey, here's the content, and we're kind of talking about a free roadmap. But like in the back of my mind, what's telling me from 9 months or 6 months from now or 3 months from now, my apologies, that Anthem's not going to say, hey, here's actual DLC number 1. You need to buy this for $20. Yeah. Because that's the taste I have from Destiny, like you brought up of like, hey, here's the content, but now there's going to be a clear divide of like the good stuff from the generic stuff. And when we looked at that 90-day roadmap, that all looked like free generic stuff to me. There wasn't something where it's like, hey, this is the stuff that gets the gamers what they want. This is how we change the game. Those usually have a price tag tied to them. And so that's where I'm getting at with like Division and Anthem saying they're coming out with free content, but like, what's that moment where it's going to be big enough to do this,
Yeah, I mean, from my understandings when it comes to Anthem, they have already said that it's no paid DLC. They come out and said that. So from what my understanding, I could be wrong, please find quotes and send them in if not. Anthem's content going forward, whether it be small or big, will be free. And the only way they're going to monetize the game outside of paying for what you paid for it is going to be from cosmetics, where the Division is totally different, which is Division have said the first year's content is free, and then they'll see sort of thing, which to me says we're going to get a bunch of a 90-day roadmap, maybe even a year roadmap of little pieces of content, and then in a year's time we're going to get a big expansion that we're expected to pay for, which again, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But to get onto the topic of gold editions, I have never been a fan of gold editions. I'm not a fan of season passes. I think the reason I'm not a fan of any of this stuff, is number one, because I've never had enough money to be able to pay for it myself. I'm still very early on in my career. Money doesn't come easy from what I do, being funded through Patreon and stuff like that, and I don't get these games always for free. You guys know when I do, because I'm very transparent about it. So for me, I've always hated it. I remember Gears of War 4 did it, which was buy the gold edition, you get a week, I think it was the week early, for a story heavy game, campaign game. And I begrudgingly paid about £80 for that game. Because I was doing my Xbox and me. And how can I not talk about Gears of War the same time as everybody else? Not everyone has that, and I admit that. But now I'm just like, guys, I'm not paying for it. I'm not doing it. These gold editions do nothing for me. A week earlier DLC? No. A week? No, I'm good. They'd need to give me a lot more, like you said in the email tag, which is like boosters and armor and skins and stuff like that. I'd need all of it, not just a week early of access. Like a week? What am I getting for that? You're unlocking the source code a week early because I paid more. Why? Give me something tangible. Even me, if I wanted to buy this, that seems super weird to lock people out of content that's there. So for me, I'm not about it. But again, Ubisoft are a business and they need to make money. And if they're going to say all the content's free, just wait, then you need to stick by your wallets and just wait. I know a lot of people won't, and I know it's going to be a lot hard, even for me, especially someone that's a content creator and someone that is going to want to be in the forefront of all this DLC. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, I'm very much someone, if I get a game given to me for review purposes or impression purposes or whatever it is, I then usually try and support that game financially because I didn't pay for it. So if I get Division 2, I probably will then upgrade to the season pass or whatever it is, just because I wouldn't have paid the full whack for the game. So, but that's just me. Mike, that is it. Let's plug, my friend, and get ourselves out of here. What have we got to plug this week, my friend?
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Snowbike Mike, here to plug twitch.tv/SnowbikeMike, where I stream to you live 5 nights a week. And what I really want to plug is our Sunday night Snowbike Mike tournament series. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Everybody comes from the community. We've played a lot of Smash Bros. We've played Halo. We've played Overwatch. And we just keep playing fun games. So please come on down, get involved, and play some games as a community together. And of course, show that you are the best and get those bragging rights. That's all I got to plug.
Cool. You should definitely do that. Like he said, twitch.tv/snowbikemike. Go check him out. He's amazing. You can find me everywhere at MC Fixer. Patreon.com/MCFixer. That is what keeps the lights on. If you're someone listening to this show, maybe you're new and you haven't listened to any of my other stuff that I do. I've been a content creator now for about 4 years. I am currently full-time at it. I do not have any other source of income other than Patreon. So if you're someone listening and you're like, oh, I want to support Fixer, but I'm not sure. I don't have a rich mum or dad. Trust me, no one's supporting me apart from my fiance. So if you can consider doing that, I would truly, truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Tweet it at me and I will retweet them and probably cry because that's what usually happens. I always get a big smiley face when it happens. Also, this Saturday I will be launching my merch store. Snowbike Mike has got his. I'm thinking this Saturday I'm going to be launching mine. So new t-shirts, my Xbox and me t-shirts will be for sale. You've got the I Support MC Fixer t-shirt and then just the Fixer logo t-shirt that will all be for sale. Prices will be there. I'm going to be doing a full 12-hour stream promoting the merchandise. So please, 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 please consider going to buy some. And yeah, just a lot of good stuff coming soon for the show. I'm working on some interviews for this show. I want to talk to Mike about new segments and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to give Mike. We've come a time now where Mike needs his own segment. Like it's not all about me. It's not about that. I don't mind keep doing the news and stuff like that, but we need to get a Snowbike Mike hype moment section or something like that on this show. So the format I'm hoping to change real soon. Until then, I will love you, leave you, and see you all later. Goodbye.